Hello, party people. We are counting down. This is, I don't know, video 9 of the Vibathon, talking about all the same topics that are going to be covered inside of the Vibe Tribe coaching experience. And they're topics that are important to all of us. They're results, basically. So we're talking about different things that we all want to get better at doing. We've talked about things like boundaries and goal setting and really just understanding where our limiting beliefs and self-sabotage is tripping us up. And these are all the things that are stopping us from getting the results that we want, from living the life that we want. These are all goals that we want to incorporate. These are all habits and things that we want to be better at, right? Personal development. You guys buy books on this stuff. You study it, you figure it out. Well, I want to help you inside of Vibe Tribe take this information, study deeper, and apply it so that it can become your new normal, your new way of living. I want to help you change the patterns in your life that are not working for you so that you can get the results you want. Everything in life is a choice. Every problem is a thought problem. If you're having a problem, you're having an issue, all you got to do is learn to think differently about it. And when you think differently, you feel differently. And as a result, you act differently. And we can take this slice of pie and cut it all different ways, but the result is always going to be the same. Your thoughts create feelings, which create actions, which create results. And those results are the ultimate goal, right? More money, better relationships, all the things. So that is what I want to help you do inside of Vibe Tribe. Hello, all of you. Thank you for joining live. The convo, Christine says, I just had that convo with my daughter this afternoon about thoughts and feelings and actions and getting what you want and, not letting your own negative thoughts get in the way. This is a conversation. Thank you for having it with your daughter, because this is a conversation that we all need to be having with our kids, that somebody should have had with us when we were young. It should be everywhere. This should be like in schools. It should be like everybody's third hour. Like that's for an hour a day. We're doing mindset, and that's what we're doing. Math can wait. Math is also important, but you guys know what I mean. So let's talk about self-discipline and motivation. And if those of you who are watching the replay, this is the first time you've accidentally stumbled across one of my videos, I'm Tonya Rineer, mindset maven, and I work with women who want big, amazing things for their life, and they want to accomplish big dreams and goals, and they just want a badass life. How do you get it? You choose it. You get intentional about it. You want more money? Decide. If you want a thriving business, decide. You want a great relationship? Decide. It's all about setting your standards, raising your standards, and not taking ish from anybody and saying, no, this is what I want and I deserve it. I'm going to get it. Thank you very much. In making sure that your mindset jives with the result that you want. Okay. Because if it doesn't, you ain't going to get what you want. So, Tara says, how are you still extroverting? I know, right? There were so many other things I was supposed to do today, but apparently going live every hour is kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot of work. So I got nothing else done, but I've been hanging out with you guys all day. So let's talk self-discipline and motivation, because we all need a little bit more of that, right? If I could bottle this up and sell it in a elixir or a perfume, I would be a bazillionaire. Like I would, make Trump and Mark Zuckerberg look like they were broke. Because motivation and self-discipline is something that we all struggle with from time to time, and some of us more than others, and some areas of life tend to be the areas that we struggle in more than other ones. So I'm going to give you just 5 tips. We're going to go down the list with 5. Number 1 is identify your why. Now, you guys, this isn't new. It's not new information, right? We all know the whole TED Talk and the books start with why. It's important. And I think we glaze over our whys way too much. And not only do we glaze over them, but we let them belong to somebody else. So when you're asking yourself why, am I doing this? Why do I want to achieve this goal? Make sure that your why is coming from within you and it doesn't belong to somebody else. Make sure your why isn't because it's going to impress somebody else. Make sure that it's not to gain the approval of somebody else. Make sure that it's not because that's what your parents or your spouse want you to do, or that's not what you're expected to do. But really tune in and do that inner work to ask yourself, is this something that is important to me? And if so, you're good, right? If you're not sure, I encourage you to test it with the 5 whys. So when you ask yourself, why do I want this? Why do I want to build a business? Why do I want to lose weight? Why do I want to make more money? And then will you let the response come to you? And then when the response comes, ask yourself why again, and keep doing this. I want to make money so that I can, quit my job. Well, why do you want to quit your job? Because I want to feel free and empowered. Well, why do you want to feel, free and empowered? Because I've always wanted to travel the world. Why do you want to travel the world? Because I want to, teach other cultures about, X, Y, Z. Why do you want to do that? Because I think that's really important and, that's my higher calling. Well, then the reason you want to quit your job and make more money is so that you can fulfill your higher calling, right? So if you go through this process of asking why, it takes anywhere between 3 and 5 times of digging into that before you get your real answer. And that's the meat and the potatoes. That is what is going to continue to motivate you through the moments where you start to wane and you start to forget why you're doing this in the first place, right? So number 1, connect to your why daily. Find out what it is, connect to it, and just spend a moment reminding yourself every day, preferably in the morning, so you start your day this way, with why it is that you're doing this to begin with. Most of the time, in my experience working with clients, it's usually not selfish. We all have selfish reasons, vain reasons why we want to do things, and those are completely okay. And those are enough to get us going. We all want to lose weight so we can look hot in a bikini, in 6 weeks, right? And that's enough to get you going, but that is not enough to sustain your drive and determination. You need something deeper, something real, something that you can really latch onto. And that is what is going to help you continue when you are not feeling it. So, connect to that why, figure out what it is, connect to it daily. Number 2, act your way into feeling. So we talk about the mindset map and how thoughts create feelings create actions, right? Well, we can reverse engineer that and say, when I'm not feeling it, when I'm not feeling that motivated, we wait for motivation, right? We're waiting for somebody else to go, I think you should do this because. We're waiting for somebody else to hold us accountable. We're waiting for something that's going to happen externally. And the truth is, it ain't going to happen. So we need to learn how to go within, right? And waiting for motivation isn't always the answer. Sometimes you need to create it. And how do you create it? You move. You do one thing. Not a whole bunch of things, not a laundry list of things, but just one thing. Take one tiny step toward your desired goal. So if you promised yourself you were going to work out, then, what is one step? Get off the couch, go for a walk around the house, throw your gym bag in your car, go to the gym, stand on the treadmill. You don't even have to walk on it. You don't even have to move the thing. Just do something, take one action, because taking that action is going to create the feeling of motivation, create the feeling of inspiration. And you at that point are going to start thinking thoughts that, perpetuate that feeling. So, you're going to think, oh, okay, I guess I could do this for 10 minutes. And then at 10 minutes, you're going to, okay, well, I kind of think I can do it for 10 minutes more, right? So you're acting your way into feeling, which is then creating thoughts, and those thoughts are going to help sustain the action and perpetuate it. So that is tip number 2. Tip number 3 is do what's right, not what's easy. And this is from a good friend of mine, Hal Elrod. He's famous for saying this. He says it all the time. And I love, love, love that he does, because he's absolutely right. Sometimes what's right isn't easy. You know what is going to get you to your goal, and it is definitely not the easy thing. Do you know why? Because we have brain patterns that keep us doing what is easy. Our brains are lazy and they don't like to learn new things. Your brain doesn't want to learn a new habit. That requires brain power, it requires energy, and it requires new wiring of the circuits in your brain. So it's going to resist it and it's going to fight it. Your brain wants to go back into the old familiar ruts and patterns. That's what's easy. That's what's familiar. But what's easy and familiar is not getting you to your goal. What's hard will. And it's only hard because it's new. And the more you do it, the more comfortable and familiar it will be. And then the easier it will be, because at that point it's becoming natural. It's becoming a habit. But you have to get through that initial sticking point, that initial resistance, and know that it is your brain creating this resistance. It is not because the physical act of doing it is hard, or the physical reprogramming in your brain is hard. Like there's physical things happening. It's not hard. It's just new and it's unfamiliar. So let that be your mantra. Write it on a sticky note, put it everywhere, and let that be your driving force, something that you look at every day and remind yourself. It's not easy, but it is right. And I'm going to do what's right. And that feels good. And, talk yourself into that. As you say, how does that feel? How does it feel when I do what's right? How does it feel after I've accomplished the task that I set out to do and I've kept the promise to myself? Okay. Tip number 4, speaking of making promises to yourself, make those promises a priority. Schedule them if you have to. If you are somebody that works on a calendar and that is an easy way for you to stay on task, then schedule appointments with yourself and make them the most important appointments you keep every single day. If you are not scheduling time with yourself, it just clearly shows that you're not making yourself a priority. And if you're not making yourself a priority, what are you making a priority? And your priorities clearly show what is important to you. And, if I look at your schedule and see how you spend your time all day, I can pretty much tell you what your outcome is going to be, right? Just like, where you spend your money is a clear indication of your values. Your time, how you spend your time also is a clear indication of your values and the things that are important to you. So if you are important to you, then make yourself a priority, right? Keep those promises to yourself. Now, only you know where your energy is strongest throughout the day. So if you get weak and tired and you know that you have a habit of breaking promises to yourself when you set those appointments later in the day, make it a priority first thing in the morning. Make it a priority to do it, at your lunch break. Figure out what works for you and make it your number one thing. Like, my day was successful because I kept my promise to myself, and that feels good. And reward yourself with positive affirmations, words, and positive feelings. Allow yourself to feel accomplished and successful and proud of yourself, because if you ain't do it, nobody else does. Okay, tip number 5, be prepared for obstacles. Plan ahead, because they are going to come up. What is your plan for when, people come over with cupcakes? What is your plan when your best friend pops by with a bottle of wine? What is your plan for when a client or somebody asks you for a refund? What is your plan for, when nobody shows up to buy your thing, right? So these things that we are afraid of happening, those worst case scenarios, they very well could. But when you are planning for them and you're prepared for them, if they do happen, you're ready. And they are not detrimental, and they're not going to derail your progress. So just spend a couple minutes identifying what it is that you're afraid of, create a plan, and you will be ready to rock and roll. And the bonus tip, plan for the long haul. Anytime you are changing something, you're creating something new in your life that requires self-discipline, that requires some motivation, it's not going to happen overnight. Nothing does. Mindset does not change overnight. You have to be prepared to put in a little bit of time. If you set unrealistic expectations and you're expecting magic to change and everything to happen in 7 days, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Instead, give yourself some grace. Go back and listen to the video from earlier inside the Profit Party that we did, where we were talking about goals. where, we're talking about breaking it down and taking big 90-day goals and breaking them down and looking at what they look like in a month, and then breaking those down into a week, and then just focusing on what it takes to get it done in a week. But knowing we've got a long-term goal ahead of us, but we're breaking it down and making it actionable and realistic, and so that we can concentrate on the way that we're thinking about it and feeling about it in the process. So once again, I'm Tonya Rineer. My jam is mindset, y'all, and I want to help you get to where you want to go, and I can do that inside of the Vibe Tribe coaching experience. If you want to learn more, check it out, tonyarineer.com/join. It is on sale. The card is open right now, but it is closing in 2 hours. So if you get in now, you get the amazing founding members price. And it will go on sale again sometime in 2019. I'm not sure when, but it will never be this price again. So if you have been hanging out with me for a while, if you know that you want to make 2019 your best year ever, and you want to crush your goals and, own you're awesome, explore your truth, and really figure out what has been stopping you from the life and business and career that you want. What has been stopping you? Ask yourself those questions and say, am I ready to do the work? Am I ready to put in a little bit of time? And inside of this group, we're going to be spending a lot of time together working in a group format. There is a lot of opportunity for one-on-one. It's all completely anonymous if you so choose. So you can get all the help that you need and do this transformational work without anybody knowing that you're here. So, if you're worried about clients or somebody knowing that you're in an environment like this, no need to worry, girl, I got your back. So we're doing all this amazing work, and it's going to be transformational. And that is where I'm going to be spending time every single day. So every single day I'm working hands-on with people inside of this group. And then, did I mention in-person events? Hello, mini retreats every couple of months. We're going to meet somewhere in the United States for an in-person event so that we can hang out for an entire day or 2 in some cases and work on you and your issues and your business, your goals, and create strategies and plans so that you know exactly what to do and in what order to get the results you want. So something you're interested in, head on over to tonyarineer.com/join, check it out, and I hope to see you on the inside. Once again, I'm Tonya. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you, and I will see y'all later. Bye.